Good evening, everyone, and welcome to our Monday evening connection. And we are very excited. We are hosted by our friend Ami. Everything is so lovely here. And next, by the way, if you guys listen to it wherever you are, maybe in Manhattan, you can always joining us. If it's something that you'd like to do, just text us. Let us know. This week is a beautiful level that we're entering, which is, remember we spoke about in the last few weeks about the Egypt, right, being in the exile, and every day I'm in Egypt. Every day I want to achieve the level of Israel, the level of consciousness, level of mind of a matter. But at the same time, I have the Pharaoh to deal with, and I have the Moses that give me the voice and so forth. This week, there's few things that happen that are very important for us to be connected to. It's the going out of Egypt. This is this week. The reading is Beshalach, and then this is where the Creator, help them to be in the process of going out of Egypt, going out of what we call slavery, which represent that we all have opportunity this week, wherever you are, whatever level you are, to get out of this miserable place that you are. That's what it means. We're not reading about Egypt. It's not that now we relive the going out of Egypt. The energy that was revealed right in the cosmos at that time appear in this world again. So whoever sick or interested to get out of their own miserable place, get out of their own mud, get out of their own slavery, okay? And we're not talking about slavery of working physically, right? Working physically is not about that. It's about, am I slave to some kind of an addiction? Am I a slave to some kind of an individual that controls my life? This is the time, this is this week to say, no, I'm done. I'm going out of this Egypt, of this small place. I give those excuses for so many years. This is this week, okay? In this week also we have the going out of Egypt. We are also the splitting of the Red Sea, which was a very historical, people think it's an historical event or just a nice, interesting story that people say. Whether it's happened or not, that's not the case right now. But the energy of splitting the Red Sea is still available for us this week. What does it mean to our life, splitting the Red Sea? Splitting our own Red Sea. What does the Red Sea represent? Some judgment, some limitation, some places in our life that I don't see how it's going to get done. I don't know how I'm going to make it happen. That is the Red Sea. That is the sea that stands in the middle that I cannot see how to make it happen. And this week appear in the universe, cosmically, the energy, the solution, and the tools to overcome whatever limitation each one of us have in our life. So this is the big thing that's happening, and then obviously the story going into the desert and so forth. There's another story right after splitting of the Red Sea. They facing a war. Facing a war against the nation Amalek, which I will explain about. Amalek is the name of Amalekine, or the way they call it, but it's a name of a nation which represent a certain consciousness we're going to talk about. That being said, let's go back to the consciousness we want to connect, the big picture. The going out of Egypt is not simply just going out of the place physically, but also not to get into a place that you might get stuck there. Many people, not just about, going out of situation, they need to learn not to get into the situation from the beginning, right? That's what we're talking about. Solving issues before we enter into them. Why I have to go into that situation, create a mess or an issue or such a delay, and then I'm wasting my time, and then I'm trying to get rid of it. right? Like all of us, starting something seems like exciting, seems like, wow, it's amazing. This, we're going to do a company together, or seems like a good business. Now I have no idea how I'm going to get out of this business, right? You start talking about someone about a deal, and you're starting the deal, and then you realize, I don't want to do it. I just don't know how to get out of the situation, right? I'm in Egypt. I'm stuck. This is what we're solving this week in the root level. That's the consciousness that we want to connect to. Why? What is Egypt? How do I get into Egypt? How do I get to a situation that I don't know how I'm going to get out of it, right? That's what we want to solve. First, to understand, where is Egypt? Where is Egypt? Obviously, it's not in Africa, but is to get out, or at least to tell yourself, you know what, I'm done. This week, if you can tell yourself, I'm done with temporary solution. Can you tell yourself, I'm done with a temporary solution for the problems? This, I'm telling you, this is the one thing you just heard right now. If you don't looking into solution, quick, fast solution to an ongoing problem, we are not going out of Egypt. I want to say it again. How many of us finding a quick fix solution to every issue? I'm lonely, let me fix it. I'm having a mental this. Oh, let me drink, let me this, let me that, let me run away. Quick solution. Oh, let's complain. Whatever it is. This is one of the things that drag us into a reality. Again, that quick fix mentality. The quick fix is only coming from Egypt. Egypt and all their black magic on how they solve issues. Their constant magic in Egypt, right? We all want some magic. We all want to be like a magical energy. What do you mean? Why? Why does it have to be magical? Right? Magical feeling is great, but to solve things in a magic, like, is it really real, the magic, what they do? Right? So we want the magic of the light. We want the magic that doesn't disappear. And this is when obviously we're choosing step number one. I'm not getting into Egypt from the beginning. And the way to solve it is check every time when there is an issue, something, difficulty, a problem, a question, a deal, an idea. Oh, wow, we're sitting together, we're going on a dinner, and then we're realizing, wow, we want to do the same business. And then we close the deal and right there in the spot. And then what a chaos. What a chaos. Who did I bring to my deal? What did I do? Right? How many times? Oh, I wish I wouldn't really take the money from that investor. Now they're sitting on my neck right here for 60 years. I don't want that. If you right now decide this week, I'm not looking into any temporary quick fix to anything. So that being said, there's an issue at work. Somebody come and offer me solution. Should I take it? No problem. But don't jump on it immediately. Wait a second. Let's check another thing. It was on the spot. Usually these things prolong themselves. I'm going to do it 2 days, 3 days. I'm done with that. It become like 60 days. Be careful to jump to this situation. That's Egypt. We know Egypt represents all our negative attributes. When we give in to them, that's what gets you into Egypt. That's what gets you into exile from your soul. Small thinking. If you're staying for too long in a smaller thinking, what do you mean smaller thinking? It's not worldwide. It's not permanently. It's not continuously. It's not collective, right? It's small. Any of things that are not of that, what I just said, it's small. It's me and my little friend. It's me and my little thing. It's me and my thing that I want, and all whatever. Many people like looking into small this, small that, small this, small that. So now, One of the things that we eventually want to achieve is a reality where I only know that there is nothing in this world beside the light of the Creator, as opposed to me and my ego, right? And again, that's a step that you want to get into. But it's a greater place to be. It's a higher consciousness to have. And for that reason, we need steps, right? So assuming you're not going into Egypt, but you need something to help you to get a way more advanced. So now the Kabbalists explain that in order for me to achieve a level that I'm not going back to Egypt, that is not where I'm going into, because I know it's going to drag me into an exile. So what do I need? What do I need in order for me to not going into Egypt? It says one thing. You need to be constantly defeating the what I told you before, the nation of Amalek. What is Amalek? So is there something I need to fight with? No, it's a code. The code of Amalek represent by the roots of your ego. That Amalek, that name Amalek, represent the roots of your ego. Gasut haruach, which means very rude spirit. Rude meaning could care less about anybody. And again, I'm not saying about that you need to be caring what people think about you, but before you do something, I'm talking about human dignity, right? I'm talking about that is like, you know, that you have zero respect to anybody in this world, and or you have zero interaction with people in a respectful way, okay? That it means that soul, that energy of Amalek is there, and eventually that consciousness will lead you into quick fix and straight into Egypt back again. How many times you try to run processes in your company? You know what? My company, I want to build a new processes to this department, that department, this, right? Many times you started with some kind of processes, and then something happened and you didn't keep it. There wasn't any depth for that process. That process was very shallow, right? So it has to go and reignite again. Therefore, when he speaks about overcoming the nation of Amalek, let's reverse it. I don't want to get into an Egypt, into smallness, into limitation, into slavery, into addiction, into all of that. I need to constantly finishing that aspect of Amalek within me. What is it? The roots of my ego, the roots of, bad manners, bad history, even physically, all the history that you keep dragging in your life. On my parents, you blaming them, where I grew up, how I grew up. I'm Israeli, I'm rough, I'm this, whatever it is that your excuses are. I'm American, I'm this, or I'm this. This is nonsense. 1% physical excuses. It's a physical excuse. Don't let it be something that limits you, because it's been used against you, okay, to control us. So now the Creator in that moment always want to help us. There's a Creator to this world. You have a Creator. He wants to help you, like a parent to a child, like a boss to his employee, should be a government to her people, right? Naturally. If you have a Creator, he just want to take care of you. If you see a baby like born and there's nobody, who cares about him, man? Let's throw him, right? Maybe in worse places, right? But in general, you want to take care of it. So we are the baby of the Creator. He take every second care of us. Let that be part of your connection as well. So now he says, the Creator says, in the word he says, "V'lo nacham Elokim," and the Creator says that he see that they are getting stuck, or they're not in a good place, right? So he says, Ki karovhu. Now it's a little deeper what I'm about to say, but it's important where it's come from and where it takes us. How we can solve Amalek and Egypt. This is the goal, And this is what we want to connect. Opa. Sorry. It's a not so stable stand here. Okay, good. Safe. Okay. So now let's understand the concept of what we're saying. ולא נחם אלוקים, כי קרוב הוא אל. What do you mean כי קרוב? Because he's close to you. If you read the story literally, you would think that there is this nation of Amalek is trying to attack you, they're close to you, and so forth. Absolutely not according to Kabbalah. The Kabbalists go and say, when they speaks about karov, close, or far, right? It doesn't speak about physical place, or I'm close to you and you're far away from me. That's not what we're talking about. What we're talking about here is the letters. There are 22 letters. The Hebrew letters, spectrum of the 22 letters. So if you take the first one is Aleph, and the last one is Taf, the letter Taf, right? So in between you have these 20 letters, right? So if you take the last 4 letters in the end, hope you're with me, don't lose me, it's very simple. It's the letter Shin Kuf Resh Taf, which is Kuf Resh Shin Taf, but it's the letters of Sheker, which is lies. Lies. Okay? Sheker, it means lie. But why do they call them Karov? Because the letters of Sheker, of a lie, are really one next to each other. Coincidentally, right? We know there's no coincidence. But they call that Karov, they call it close, which to indicate that these 3 letters, Sheker, lies, is more close to us than the truth. Look at your life. Again, I don't want to blame anyone as being a liar. But if you don't think that you're a liar, you are lying right now. Okay? So we lying all the time. Or before we go into that, what is Rachok? What is far away? If you take the 22 letters, the first letter is Aleph, the last letter is Taf, the middle letter is Mem, which is Emet, which means truth. Truth. When somebody is connected to the truth, or even think about it, just close your eyes for a second and think about, can I live in a reality of just telling the truth to people? The answer is absolutely not. Can you go walk around and tell people the truth about what you think about them? Can you tell the truth about who you are? Yeah, depends. Sometimes you can, but not everything. Well, I can tell I don't know who wants to hear the truth from me, right? All kind of reasons. Truth always seems to be far-fetched from where we are. Let's say, for example, you're dealing with somebody and you hear something that they tell you and you don't want to say the truth because it's going to break the deal, because it's going to show a bad face of you and they're not going to date you if they know that information about you, right? So you rather, it's close to me, wait a minute, me and you, I'm just going to tell you something, right? And you just come up with a small lie. Or you call it white lie, or you call it stuff like that. This is where you get complicated. Living a reality of lies is close to you, meaning it's so easy for me to fall into it. That's why I said temporary is always a lie. Temporary solution, take Advil for a headache, it's a lie. It's a lie that we buying from the pharmaceutical. What do you mean it's a lie? It's solving the problem. I need to function. Yes, but did you solve the headache? Where the headache came from? No, quick fix, 24 hours relief. After 24 hours, yeah, maybe next week, another 24 hours. Until a person is stuffed with pills and quick solutions. They don't even know what I take first. Have you seen some people have like lines and lines of medications every day they need to take? This is 12 o'clock. This is, wow. How did we get into this reality that we're dependent on something like that? Lies. Finding what you lying about. First of all, the lies about yourself. This is this week. If you can at least observe Just take the time, take a note, write down for yourself. You know, I would like to see all the lies that I'm telling about myself. My friend, if you don't hold that space and you continue with your day, don't expect something else. Hold space where within that space you're really taking a note of all the lies you're telling us. Me, I'm not lying to anybody. That might say, if your answer to what I just said was like, I'm not lying to myself, you are a complete liar, unaware of what's going on with you. This is where we're born into. Then we really fighting and working to get to the truth, right? Because even if you heard about something that is true, did you hear about all the truth, or there's like it comes in stages? It always comes in stages. Whatever you thought is true, all of a sudden become not really real anymore. So obviously there are rules in this world. Living in the truth is far-fetched, but it's the only way that you will never went back to Egypt. Egypt again represent smaller consciousness, me consciousness, never influence, never a greater effect to your actions. That's how you're gonna feel all the time. Meaningless, powerless. Maybe you can create your own circle to feel great about yourself, but in the world I feel powerless. So obviously what we want to connect as well is that when we're using lies, most of us using lies not because we want to lie. Don't get me wrong. I don't think that everybody wake up in the morning is like, I want to lie today. I'm going to lie to everybody today. Is anybody did make that decision before? I don't want to look if somebody raises his hands, but I'm sure nobody will wake up in the morning and says, I just want to lie all day long. The other way around happened to you. And correct me if I'm wrong. One day you wake up and say, I just want to tell the truth today. I just don't want to lie or fake. Most of the time that will happen to you. And then as you start your day, it seems like so far to tell the person what I really feel. Let me tell him, like, oh yeah, how you doing? I'm good, thank you. Suffering, right? Why? It's none of their business. So now I start lying. So it starts small, right? How you doing? Amazing, right? And then you're not. It's not true, right? Do you think it's a problem to say, you don't have to say, I don't like people say I'm angry. I like them to say I'm experiencing anger right now. I'm experiencing frustration right now. It's an emotion that I'm dealing with. What people do, I'm angry, I'm frustrated, I'm upset, meaning they become the emotion. They don't even know that the words that they're saying makes them that emotion. It's to learn to separate and not to lie. But I'm experiencing right now a discomfort, or I'm experiencing whatever it is. Start there. Because when you start with small little lies, it continues. Oh, what's happened? Why are you late? Nobody will say I snooze for 5 times snooze. Anybody gonna? I never heard somebody tells me this. If you heard somebody say, yeah, just one is lazy, a snooze, especially when you're waiting for them to the meeting, right? No, nobody will say it. You go to work, hey boss, I didn't want to come, I just snooze, I was lazy. They will fire you tomorrow. He will say, I don't want to come. So you lie, and then it's continuing. It's continuing, and then you're going to date, and you have something serious? No, not at all. You are the only one I care about while I'm talking to 6 other dates. No, none of them is serious, but you didn't, and one after the one, it's dragging you into reality that is so close to you. When I mean close, karov, I can lie right away. It's right there, and I solve the problem. I don't need to change because I lie about it. I don't have that issue, right? So I'm lying about it, so I don't need to work on it, or I don't need to change it. I'm lying about what I'm doing, how I'm doing it, whatever it is that's going on with us constantly. Who is your best friend? Amalek. What is Amalek? Is same numerical value as the word safek. same numerical value as the word safek, which is doubt. Doubt doesn't come to somebody because they doubting to marry that person or to go to this career or to this. Many people think I have a doubt about, oh, if I have a doubt about moving to this apartment or moving to that apartment. No, doubt is an energy that you accumulate throughout your lives. You are friend with the nation of Amalek. These are the source of your insight. It's not a doubt that because now you're doubting something real. Let's say, for example, you're standing in front of your soulmate, you will doubt her. Why? Nothing to do with her or him or us or they, whatever you want to call it, right? It's the accumulation of lies created doubts for you. It's an energy that you accumulate. Now what happened? You can get married. You can go into a new venture. You can quit your job and start a new thing that might change the world. Why? Because I'm in a lie. Because I'm in a doubt. Because I'm not sure I'm going to make it. Why? Because I'm in Egypt. You understand the cycle? Lies, Amalek, right? The doubt, the world of the gasut haruach, the mean spirit falls on you, right? And you lie to this and you lie to that. And I don't care. I'm mean spirit. I don't care to lie to them. I don't care. Who cares? Right? None of their business, right? But I'm pushing my way far away from the world of truth. So I hope that's the big picture that we getting this week. It's a beautiful, beautiful light that is awakening for us this week. Because eventually what happened is, if you start that reality, people start lying to you right and left. And then you won't see it. And it's a frustrating life in this way. Okay? So the going out of Egypt that's happening this week, Parashat Beshalach, in this portion of Beshalach, when the Creator sends the Israelites out of Egypt, it's nothing to do with them. It's nothing to do with some people going out of Egypt in Africa. It's today, you have to imagine, our soul is free from bondage of this limitation of the ego. That's the opportunity we have this week. Plus, as tough as it's going to be, we're going to be able to split our own Red Sea. What stops me? What's the Red Sea? It's nothing to do with the Nile in wherever the Red Sea in Egypt. It's your challenge. Now, how do we split our own Red Sea? That's something I would like to speak about. But before I'm going there, I want to make sure I did connected to this, because the war with Amalek that happened right after the splitting of the Red Sea is to remember. After the splitting the Red Sea, after the Israelites saw 10 different plagues, miracles upon miracles in the land of Egypt, getting them out of Egypt, seeing something that wasn't done. It was like 400 years process, you understand? Imagine you're going through a 400 years transformation of this city. And eventually you come to the moment, how can you not see in the miracle, right? Yeah, over time we forget. It happened last month. I forgot about it, right? What happened? They seen all the miracles and they finishing splitting the Red Sea. Can you imagine them walking in the Red Sea, everything into the, some places they say they even walk in water and they could breathe. They would not even, so some of them splitting, some of them they were inside the water. Makes no difference because it's us. Us can be walking in water. What are we going to feel? Suffocated. They could breathe, right? So what does it mean in our life? Do you have a situation in your life that you feel suffocated? Yes, you are in the ocean. That's suffocating you. You need to learn how to go through that. That's your Red Sea. It's not about like, oh, I'm done with this. No, it's to learn to walk through this situation that's suffocating me, that's drowning me. I'm drowning in this. This is the Red Sea. Use it into your own way, right? But that's what it means. That's available this week. So now, How do I get what happened? Sorry, after the splitting of the Red Sea, they complained to Moses, right? Oh, we have a problem now. You brought us here to die. We're gonna be fighting with this war. They finish the war. They win the war of Amalek. Huge nation. They win the war. After the winning of the war, they go into the desert. What is the first thing that they do? Complaining. No food, no food, no water. How are we gonna drink? How are we gonna eat? And blah blah blah. Okay. This is something that I would love for all of us as friends to help each other. In what? Complaining. This is what gives you to the hands of Amalek. The hands you into a reality of doubts and fear. Complaining with or without a reason. It's a force that goes against creation. It's a force. Anytime you're complaining, you're telling that there is nothing here. It's all physical reality. There is no light. There's no energy. There is no solution beyond me. There is no creator. There's no creation, actually. Just complaining. What did I just say? They shouldn't do it this way. They shouldn't do it that way. Yeah. In your mind, there is a complaint going on a regular basis. There's a usual complaint. There's a usual. If you listen to it, you're gonna start listening to this. It's a vibration that runs into your brain, right? You don't even notice because it's already there. It's like, you know, when there's a song is playing in the background and it's already, you can't hear it anymore. You understand what I'm talking about? Yeah. It's like it's already like part of the scene, you know. You don't really recognize there's a song playing, right? That is the song that I would like each one of you to listen carefully to. The constant wave of complaint. It's just a wave of complaint. And this is what we're finishing this week. Why? Because either way, the work is already hard in this world. It's a hard work to be spiritual, to be connected, to do the work, all of that, to stay positive, you know, all of that. Why are you making it harder? Right? What does it mean by making it harder? Even just to fall into the complaint. I'm telling everybody, even if it's just you sitting and complaining in your head, you inviting that nation, that Amalek, that Safek, the roots, right? But if you take the word Amalek, numerical value Safek, the same numerical value of the word El Acher, different God, because you created for yourself, you know, different God. You know, the Greek have different gods, and the different nations, different countries, different connections, different gods. Eventually, everybody have the same God, the same light, the same energy, the same creator. But us, when we complaining, it's because we believe in different God. It's called El Acher. We are connected to a complete different system. Just by, what did I say? I just say that, you know, I wish there would be a blah, blah, blah over here. Right? I wish the pizza will be warm. Right? We always have something. It's just like, you got to shut it down. You got to stop it immediately. Immediately. Right? How? It's something that nobody likes. It's called, the solution called achna'ah, kni'ah, right? The letter chaf, the Hebrew letter represents letter chaf, that is like you bend, meaning surrender. Surrender, or I would say, like at least to lower yourself a little bit more. Anytime you have an opportunity to complain, please find a way in that moment, before you're about to complain about it, before you're about to voice it, before you're about to going on and on and on, please pause. Find in your life, you know what, where can I humble myself a little bit now? Is there any place I can help? Is there any way I can reduce myself? Even just tell yourself in your mind, I'm sorry about my French, right? Tell yourself, shut up, silent. Right away, tell your mind, tell your thought. You are in charge. Don't get me wrong. It's not somebody controlling you. Tell yourself. And one thing that people, and again, I'm sure we all falling into it. And I would like you to repeat it for yourself on and on. Mind your own business. Mind your own business. When complaints started? When you're not minding your own business. What do you mean? Your own work, your own surrendering, your own humility, your own anava, humble. Work on that. That's what you can do. Mind that. Mind that business as opposed to the business of others. They should do this and they should do this and why you should start on this and why you. Shut up. Tell yourself, shut up. Shh. Right? I'll tell you even more. Why? Now I just got it. Vayi Beshalach. This is the word that the Torah started, Beshalach, when he sends the Israelites out of Egypt. If you switch the letter, what do you get? Vayi Belachash, in whisper. That's the word. The word is whisper. The light, the creator, your soul is just in form of whisper. If you don't allow yourself to get to that level of whisper, absolute silence, and I hear this whisper of the light of the creator. Most of us are connected to the loud voice of complaining. You see, complaining is never whisper, right? Complaining is like, oh, this outrageous. No. Even though you're saying like, should I don't know, should I? You having a pit, all kind of like blah 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 that you coming up with. Tell yourself, stop. Shh. Get to the silent, get to the whisper, and then you're gonna hear, what are you doing? Mind your own business. Focus on what you can do within your system, within your circle, within your life. Then I can sit around and tell you all day long what's wrong in the world, what's wrong with people. How is it that productive? How is it helping anybody? And again, this is very practical, but if you listen to this again, you will hear those steps that was prepared here, that eventually we're not going back to Egypt. Because most of us went out of Egypt and then came back in Egypt. Why? Because we read the story again next year and next year and next year again reading, meaning we need that energy. Not everybody got out of Egypt. Yeah, but I'm not in Egypt. Yeah, your consciousness stay there in the world of magic, or in the world of quick fix, in the world of quick solution, or blaming or complaining. But please, complaining, wow. The way you understand it right now, you're working for a different God, different system. We call it different God. It's the negative side. It's the side that you don't want to be so much engaged within you, of course. Anyway, that's been said. I have one last point that is very important. On the time.
Good.
Yeah. Okay. One last point is one thing that we're talking about, the splitting of the Red Sea. So the Israelites standing there in front of the Red Sea, and they start complaining to Moses. You brought us here to die. And they start screaming to whatever God, what did you do to us? Why you brought us here to die? What is the word that came out? The voice that came out, voice that everybody can hear, right? Ma titzak elai. Why you shout to me? Why you screaming to me? What do you want from me? What do you want from? What do you mean? You brought us here. Why did you take us here? On the side, I don't know why it took them 40 years to get to Israel. Egypt is right around the corner, right? So somehow we have a system to learn here as we move, as we progress in the story, right? This is our story, how we making things like that, right? We're gonna learn that. But in a way, they standing in front of the Red Sea and they're screaming, "You brought us here to die. What do you want from what do you want from me? You brought me here, right?" The Zohar says within that moment, as they screaming and the voice came, it says, "What do you shout to me? Matitzak elai?" That's when the Creator telling them what? I already gave you the solution. Just jump to the water. Right? I already gave. The water is, no, it's illusion. I'm telling you, I already set it up. It's done deal. Why you scream at me or to me, like most people when there's trouble, they're screaming at the Creator or some God, it's his fault or whatever that fault. No. The Creator never brought anyone here to this world without equipped us with all the tools possible, all the magic possible, all the sources possible. We just need to activate it. It's inside. It's like is your phone comes with all the options? Yeah, who's using it? Most people don't use it. Maybe just calling or texting or whatever it is, some internet. But it can do so much, right? You can operate your house, turn off the light, and do. You can see many things. I don't know what you can do with a million things with it. Nobody functioning, but it's there. Imagine you go to Apple computer. Hey, you gave me phone that doesn't have a watch, right? What are you screaming to me? Look at your phone. It's right there. Same thing that what happening this week. This week, we have an extraction of all the sources that are infused within us, which what is the revelation of the 72 names of the Creator, which represent the source of mercy in this world. But what does he say? You need to achieve the level of a true desire. True desire. In order to connect to all the sources that are infused within you, he says you need to achieve the level of Atika. Atika, which is the strongest desire that you can have. Now, I can tell you now something that is such a simple example, and based on that, you're going to use it in your life, okay? Now, you had a desire to come to show up to this class, to listen to it, either you're online or either you're here with us. You had a certain level of desire, right? Now, do you have a level of desire? What's the level of desire for you to take what we learned right now and actualize it in your life? Getting out of Egypt. Oh, yeah, that would be great. What is that desire? Because if tomorrow or next moment, or an hour, 2 or 5 hours from now, a challenge will happen or something that comes to your mind, how are you going to deal with it? Complaining or not? Oh, I'm not sure I'm not going to be able to stop complaining. Already, you know your desire is not real. Yes? If I tell you now, who can commit right now? Never complain. Don't raise your hands. I don't want you to lie. We already said that lies also. Nobody will be able to do it. No one. I know I don't want to, but then I have to say something. But I promise not to complain. Okay, just say it, okay? And then you start, and then you completely with the diarrhea of complainers. Level of desire. Desire have levels. The fact that we want something doesn't mean that we really, really want it. So here in this week, I would like you to look into your desire. Now, I'm going to give you a level of that you want to achieve, a connection to that. Again, it's something very natural, so don't get discussed, okay? But when you need to go to the bathroom, right? 99% of the time that you really, really need the bathroom, you never really get stuck on the way, right? Your time. Yeah, people around the world stuck in the middle of the street or on the bus or on a train, but eventually, if you look in your life, you had a desire to go to the bathroom. Again, I'm talking about something very simple. Why? Because when you really, really need to go to the bathroom, you're finding bathroom. Nothing stops you. You're not complaining. I gotta do it. I don't care the place, right? But if you don't really need to, you're gonna go, oh, this bathroom is disgusting. Right, this is disgusting. This is disgusting. But when you really need to go, you're gonna sit in a hole on the floor, and you're not gonna complain a second. Thank God I found this hole. I raise my case right now because this is it. It's the simple way. Again, with food, we can argue, I'm starving, I'm hungry, whatever. But with this thing, that's a desire you cannot stop. Now I want you to, anything that you have in your life right now going on, look at your desire to it. Oh, I really want to get married. You really want to get married? What level, right? I don't mind waiting in line in the bathroom. Yeah, yeah, please, old man, come before me. No pressure, I can wait, right? I'm the first in line. Now I need it. Now. This is Atika. This is what the Creator tells them, standing in front of the Red Sea. You don't really want to split the Red Sea. What do you mean? We have to. Then the sea is open. Only then, when you achieve the depth of the desire, boom, things happening automatically without even you need to say or do anything. That's how powerful who we are as desire, as people of desire. So again, this is this week. There's so many more I want to say about it, but I don't have so much time right now, and a lot of secret that will stay until the midweek. I'm doing another class, but and also in Shabbat, whoever is with us. So obviously, I want to keep you with that. Please either follow, or subscribe, or share it, or don't, or just listen to it a few times. Even if it's a one person that we were able to connect in this way, it's just amazing. I'm so excited about it. So thank you for all the help, and I'll see you soon.